Alright, July the 29th, 7:47, just like the big jumbo jets. This will be the detecting talk of the day, the mighty Deus 2 beta version 3.08. About that chain, because of this coil, that is excruciatingly small, okay? We'll leave it in that configuration. I did cut the clasp off, but that loop right there is still on that chain, okay? But I cut the clasp part off. You see it's missing. Alright, we'll leave it just like that. I'm going to do a few demos here with this coil. Disclaimer here, I'm not a South Beach hunter, but I do know this, and I'll go ahead and say it in this camera. You Salt Beach hunters out there, maybe you don't have any experience and you're getting into the game, and you're going to see a lot of videos showing multi-frequency machines made by Mind Lab, namely the Equinox, Manicore. You'll even see the XP Deus 2, and you'll even see the Nocta Legend and the Triple Score. The way you decide to hunt a salt part of the beach is not necessarily how you hunt the dry sand, okay? If you try to use what you're using down on the salt beach, you could miss that chain right there, okay? Air test. 89 kilohertz, beach sensitive. I have looked at this with even a 789 salt sensitivity, reactivity 0, all the way up to 2, 3. All the settings in between at 95 sensitivity, no dice, using pitch 2. And I'll go ahead and say this, the Manicore won't hit it either in beach low conductors. Air test. So the likelihood of you finding that in the wet salt sand might be low, huh? You might find it with your eyes, if you got good eyes, versus a metal detector. But I could be wrong, okay? Because I don't have a salt beach here to test this little small ass gold chain. And that is a gold chain. That's not a bullshit plated or anything like that, okay? So we're going to look at a few modes on this machine, okay? Now remember, on the salt beach, the ladies generally don't lay real close to the water, do they? They lay up on that beach. A lot of people may not be hunting up in places like that. Something like that could be up there, okay? And other things too. And we're going to give this a whirl here. Now this is sterile because it's new. See it? I wanted to make sure I had a nice sterile something to put this chain on to make sure I'm not getting a false reading of any sort. I don't believe in bullshit or bullshit data. We'll start first with the Deus Mono 1.5. I'll just leave it in Deus Mono at 1.5 for this demo. Now the disc, I can turn it up. Running it, you can probably get away with 7 discs on the beach. This is 111 kilohertz. I am going to turn the sensitivity up to 95. Okay, this is pitch 2. Now, I can't show the meter. There's no need to see the meter. You need to hear the machine. I want you to see this call, what I'm doing with it. And hear that. Now, that's pitch 2. What about pitch 1? That's the original. Same call height that I just swept for all practical purposes. I just switched to pitch 2. I'm still in pitch 2. Pitch 1. Hear how neutered that signal is. 63.2 kilohertz. In my opinion, this is probably a good place to be in the dry sand looking for something like that. Now, it'll find bigger stuff too, like gold rings, okay? 63.2 kilohertz. Pitch 1. I'm going to switch to pitch 2 as I sweep. Back to pitch 1. You hear the difference on that chain? Now, there's some coil height there. Not a tremendous amount, but now that's a small-ass chain, okay? We'll come over here at 63.2. I'm at pitch 1. I'm going to sweep. I'm going to change to pitch 2 while I'm sweeping. You hear that? You know, it's noisy out there on them beaches, boys. You could have car horns on a road, people screaming, yelling, kids are playing, and the waves are crashing and the wind are blowing. You can't get over what you can't hear to get you to stop on. I'm smart enough, I know that. 43.0 kilohertz. I'm going to shift it down. I'm going to try to get it as close to 40 as I can. There's 40.7. Same speed, 1.5. Okay, this is pitch 2. It's not as good as 63 kilohertz. Okay, tell you that right now. That's pitch 2. Pitch 1. You hear that. Back to pitch 2. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to start off in pitch 2. There's pitch 2. Pitch 1. See how the signal gets neutered. Let's see if I can get this right here. Okay, 20 kilohertz. Now that triple score small coil runs on 20 kilohertz, I believe. There's no 40 on that machine. I think I'm correct. Alright. Now I'm not knocking any machine. I'm just trying to get you pointed in the right direction here. If you want to find something like that in the dry sand. Okay, pitch 1, 20.4 kilohertz. Pitch 2. No real help, huh? We're over here at pitch 2. Now I'm coming right over that little class thing there. Pitch 2. Pitch 1. Okay. Now we're going to go to sensitive program. I'll leave the silencer. It's at 2. It's defaulted 1. I put it to 2. 95 sensitivity. Frequency max is 89. Reactivity 1.5. Now remember, you're in dry sand, inert sand. You should be able to run the machine lower, fast, or slower speed-wise. Now audio response is 5. Okay, this is pitch 2. I'm going to keep sweeping. I'm still in pitch 2. Pitch 1. You see what happened? Okay, I'm in pitch 1 now. I'm sweeping. Pitch 1. I just went to pitch 2. You see the difference? Okay, so from this direction, let's go back over here. I'm in pitch 2, and I'm going to get up here where I can get signal. Okay, I would get signal. I'm getting signal there. I just switched. Back to pitch 2. Now, there is a little bit of delay when you switch, you know. Pitch 2 has advantage on that gold chain. Now, I guess I could do this because, you know, you don't know how a chain is going to be. Alright, she's balled up there now. Pitch 2, this is still the sensitive program. Let you hear that, let this car get by. Pitch 1. Hear how the signal goes neutered. Deus mono. 63.2 kilohertz. Okay, pitch 1. Now I'm gonna get this call up here where I can barely hear it. That's pitch 1. Pitch 2. See what happened? We'll come over here, a little different angle. Here's pitch 2. Pitch 1. See what happened? Okay. Now you could use Goldfield on the dry sand beach if you wanted to. Alright. I'm not going to tell you how to run your machine. Okay. If I drop this, it'll never be found out here, boys and girls. Alright, she's stretched out for the most part. Alright, that's pretty good there. Well, she's stretched. There's the little clasp up there on the end. Let's see what happens here. Okay, Deus mono 63.2 kilohertz. Pitch 2. Okay, so out here I'm not getting much. I get right there over that little gizmo right there. You see that? So I'm sweeping in pitch 2. I just went to pitch 1. You see what happened? Okay. Sensitive program. Okay, this is pitch 1. We'll concentrate out here on this right here. That's pitch 1. I'm going to transition. Pitch 2. You hear the difference. Now I'm going to stay above this in pitch 2. Transition. So the signal is definitely stronger, okay? Let's turn on it like so. Pitch 2. I'm out here now. Notice what happens. Now that's extremely small, okay? Scrubbing the coil. Not much there, okay? So let's get out of here. Because this would be worst case scenario probably. It's stretched out like that. 63.2 kilohertz mono program. Now I'm out here. Let me check my pitch 2. 63.2. You see what happens out here? The multi-frequency out here didn't do so good, did it? 63.2 kilohertz. Okay. Now we're at 111 kilohertz, still in pitch 2. Now we're out here in this. That is pitch 2. Okay. Pitch 1. Similar call sweep. Here that machine likes to growl. Back to pitch 2. You can hear that. So 63 to the 111 kilohertz range is probably where you want to be. I want a chain like that to increase your odds of finding it. Mono program. Mono program probably gives you better odds in dry sand to find that chain, in my opinion. Alright? You get to make up your own mind, though. And use of pitch 2 increases your odds per sweep of the call of getting stopped over something like that. That is going to conclude the Detective Talk of the Day. The mighty Deus 2, the HF2 call with public beta version 3.08.